is so fragile, and we're constantly reminded just how fragile life can be, especially when we or a loved one is told we have cancer. Cancer survivor myself, I can tell you, we still feel very alone in this journey.
There's a study that's been showing that patients who are socially isolated have a worse prognosis, have a worse outcome than patients who are socially interconnected.
Buddies for Life is a non-profit cancer support group for those whose life has been impacted by cancer. We'll match you with the perfect buddy. Humor, hope, heart, and hugs.
Humor, hope, heart, hugs, and a whole lot of love.
We're offering you a free membership, so please sign up today. Share this with your friends and family, and support this community in every way you can. No one should face cancer alone.
I am a chemo buddy for life.
We are a buddies network.
No one does cancer alone.
Be a buddy.
And we are all here for you as a community of love.
We are chemo buddies for life.
And if you've heard 3 words, you have cancer, for yourself or someone else, you belong with us at Chemo Buddies for Life.
Healing through connections.
Good morning, and good morning. We are here. It is Friday, and this is the Diamond Factor Experience show with Barbara Beckley and guests and special guests and wonderful Queen Diamonds. We have 2 Queen Diamonds coming on today, and my lovely experts that come on during the week. So I think I covered everybody. Hopefully I covered everybody. Now, I'm just going to say this as a tip. I give tips and I give quotes and I give motivational things on the show when I come on. One tip for the day: if technology doesn't work in your favor, just flip it. Don't get negative in your mind and just let it just run its course. And I'm saying all that because this morning I was like, okay, are we going to be having the show? And I said, yes, we are going to be having the show because any means necessary, I'm going to make that happen. But, technology is your friend when it works. And then when it doesn't work, it's your teacher. It's your teacher. So with that said, we're going to get right into the show because we have a full pack show with, like I said, 2 awesome Queen Diamonds that I'm bringing on. And just to remind everybody, these few Fridays, I'm going to be bringing on either 1 or 2 or 3 individuals because we are honoring veterans. We are honoring veterans. Now, this month's supposed to be Military Appreciation Month. Okay, oopsie daisy. I will start a little bit late, but that's okay. I told myself, I'm going to take it in June. I'm going to make my own celebration and go into June. So one of our wonderful Queen Diamonds is basically a U.S. vet, and we're going to get a chance to meet and talk to her in a minute. And then we got another wonderful transition coach that's going to be coming on right after her. So get your pen and paper out. Get everything, move everything out. If you got to get something to drink, some coffee, tea, get ready because you're getting ready to meet these wonderful ladies. Now, I always say this is my favorite LLL tip for today. I always have my little things that I have around my house. So this one says, I'm going to put it real close to you. Live every moment, laugh every day, and love beyond words. The LLL method, I call it. So you want to live every moment, every single second, good and bad and ugly. You want to live every moment because you only have this one life. And then you want to laugh every day. See, I laugh at things sometimes because you got to laugh it off to keep from either screaming or crying. So I just be like, that's so funny. That's funny. And then, oh my God, the ultimate L. You want to love, 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 love. This world needs a lot of healing. I keep saying that. And we need to show each other love, even if it's just a quick text, maybe a quick like, hey, I was just thinking about you. How you doing? All that kind of stuff. So, with that said, I want to let's start the show and get to know these wonderful queens. Here we go. I'm telling you, I'm getting into them drums. Did I tell y'all I'm taking a drum practice? I told you I was gonna start getting into drums. So anyway, with that, I have another special guest with me, and I had her introduce her because sometimes you need that little extra reminder of how powerful, especially us as women, are. So I have my little friend Wonder Woman. She's with us today. She's gonna be sitting right next to me with my guest to remind us how powerful as women we are. So she's sitting right over here. I'm gonna put her right on top of here, and she's gonna be with us as we introduce these wonderful two ladies. Now, I have to always bring in, my ladies and men that I have on the show with honor because they're taking the time out to come on the show and to talk to you, get to know them. So first, we're going to introduce, like I said, we are really honoring the veterans for a few weeks on the show. And, it was put in my heart because first of all, I know Memorial, Memorial Day is coming up, but it wasn't just that. I know a lot of vets in my wheelhouse and people in my friends, family. And I said, you know what? I always fight for them because they fought for us. And there's been a lot of times that I'm sorry, they might hit me on this one. The United States, they don't treat them right. Like when they come after they do what they do, after they fought for us and fought for this country. I'm like, wait a minute, you should be giving them mounds and mounds of money. You should be giving a whole bunch of stuff because they served this country for us. They sacrificed for us. So that's why I said, I want to give them honor. So this wonderful lady, and I hope I'm saying her first name right. She will correct me when she comes on. I think it's Tequila Stanton. And I know I see her in the green room laughing at me, so she's going to correct me when she gets up here. Let me just build her up because she is just so awesome. I'm just getting to meet her, but I feel like I've been knowing her, just like talking back and forth to her. She's an author. She's a CEO of Dreams to Success, nonprofit organization. She is a retired U.S. Army, retired at the age of 37. Oh, I wish I could retire at age. Well, it was too late for me. She toured Iraq. She's a speaker. She's a Queen Diamond. The list goes on. So let's bring this wonderful lady on. But I have to do it right because we got to do a good intro to her. So come on. Hello.
Hello, how are you doing?
Good morning. I hear echoes. Let me turn myself down a little bit. Sometimes that feedback comes into us. So, okay, before we even start, say your full name because I know I messed the first one.
My name is Telecia Stanton.
Alicia. Okay, there we go. Thank you, lady.
No problem. Thank you for the invitation, of course, and thank you for celebrating veterans. We'll
Yes.
greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm very excited because, like I said, you have done a lot. I mean, when you think about it, you sacrifice, so many years to go in and say, you know what, I'm not even thinking about. I love my family and friends, but I'm really here. I'm going to fight for our country. And you made that decision. And a lot of times, people make a decision; they're not forced. People just, make that decision. I want to do this. So I want to talk about because I know there's a life when you're in. And then there's another life when you came out and then you start doing other things. So this is full pack for you because you not only served in the United States Army, but now you have your own business, you're a speaker, you're an author. So I just want to kind of you to give the listeners, like, how did you get to this point? Like what made you say, I want to get in the Army and then move from there?
From the age of 7 years old, I remember the old commercial, "Be All You Can Be in the Army." That commercial was on TV, and it sparked my interest. From 7 years old, I remember, okay, I want to do that, and I knew then that I wanted to join the military. So I began on my own, speaking with recruiters, various recruiters. I looked at different branches eliminated a lot of branches because I don't want to deal with water. Uh, so the Navy was ruled out. I decided the Army was the best option for me, and it was no turning back. I surprised my mom one day, and that's when recruiters were coming to your house. We told my mom to cook one of my favorite meals. She cooked it on a Sunday. I invited the recruiter over. She didn't know that, and after he ate dinner and told her about the Army, she was looking at him and looking back and forth at me, and he pulled out some documents that she had to sign a waiver because I was 17 years old. She signed the waiver. She said, "You sure?" "Yes, I'm sure." So I knew what I wanted to do, and I've always been a person to write goals down, write down things that I wanted to accomplish, and set my standards high, usually. And that was one of the things that I knew I wanted to do, and uh, hopefully achieve it. Sometimes it was hard. Of course, as in any job, you have ups and downs, and there was times I wanted to walk away, and there's times I toughed it out. But I end up toughing it out over those years and end up retiring at 37. However, during the course of those years, they was learning experiences, and you gain valuable friendships, lifelong friendships. Battle buddies will always be battle buddies. They're close to your heart because they become your family during deployment. That's who you're going to lean on, that leadership and your battle buddies. And they're going to get you through those tough times when you can't call your family. When you're going through the separation anxiety, because that's a major factor. And support system is so important. And I honestly, during that time, I had a very good support system. And it's difficult leaving your kids. I had a younger daughter, so I had to, she went to Michigan with my mom. So that was very hard because separation from your child, you're missing things. So I don't have memories of first tooth or some, certain things. I missed the first because I was deployed. However, you learn to adapt to those adjustments because you're doing it for the good reasons. You're doing it to take care of your family. You're doing it for, some people are doing it for educational reason. Some are doing it to actually because we want to serve our country. It's our way of giving back. So I enjoyed it.
Wow. Wow. Wow, Queen. So I'm thinking, like you said, what I love what you said is about, because you went into the Army and you didn't even know you didn't know anybody. Basically, you went in there, you were training with, the same people, boot camp. I always hear about different things about boot camp. And then from there, you get basically assigned somewhere, and then you with a whole bunch of other people you might not know. And you have to trust each other with your lives. If you go out to war, like you said, go out to war, and it is a family because you're building a team. You built a team together. And then now it's like, okay, we're all here for the same reason. Let's do this. Let's do this thing and let's do it right. So I know I was reading you toured Iraq. Did you said you toured Iraq?
Yeah, I did. Yes, ma'am.
So, oh my God, like I said, I just honor you with that. So even now, you said you had a daughter when you went in. I know that was kind of like
It was very challenging. She was younger. There's, you miss those first opportunities, taking her to school, sitting down with her, cooking dinner, playing with her. So those things I missed out. First tooth falling out. So I missed those things. And it's challenging because, you want to, as a mom, you have that passion and that nurturing feeling, and it's hard to detach from it at that time, but you have to learn to adapt.
Yeah.
Adapting is very important. And I had my mom helping out. So she was my support system and constantly mailing pictures to me and writing letters. So it helped soothe the pain that I was feeling at that time. But I know it's for a good reason as well. So I am able to take care of my family.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I know that your daughter probably looks up to you. How old is she now?
She's 23 years old.
23, and you like you're 18.
Thank you. I sometimes don't feel like it.
Believe me, I'm in the same boat with you, lady. But we have to keep it moving, right? This is our own little war.
I do every
But
day.
you look beautiful. You look beautiful. You look just young as her. I was like, wait a minute, you two sisters? I'm like, wait a minute. You said 23. I'm like, huh? But I think about the year. You think about the years. Like, yeah, she is older, much older. So has she ever thought about like maybe, well, because I don't know, it falls. They said it falls close to the tree. Mother and daughter, probably doing some similar maybe. Has she ever thought of? Did she join or no?
She almost joined a few years ago, and I intervened and told her, like, you sure you want to do this? Because I said, this is how it is, because you have to be able to listen messages even when you don't want to listen. You have to take orders when you don't want to take orders. You're gonna have to deal with various personalities. So I told her, you think about it real hard, because you're not gonna just come back home. It's not that easy. There's a process when you want to return home to your family, and it's not just, okay, I'm going to leave. So I had to have her sit down with her and make sure you're making the right decision. But ultimately, she did not go into the Army. That was her first choice. She did not go into the Army, but she did complete railroad school. So
Okay.
I have a thing that I love to do, jobs where there are challenges. So I always worked in some area of form where it was a majority men, because some individuals did not think the women could complete those tasks. So I was a truck driver, and then started off as a light wheel vehicle mechanic. So I enjoyed both. So my daughter ended up railroad school, and that was a challenging mission for her.
That is unbelievable. Yeah, I was going to ask you that because I know, being in, the service and then dealing, men and women, sometimes, they look at us because we can't do everything like a man does. I mean, like they say, and I know someone be like, forget it. I want to be
Yes.
Go there and say, I want to show you I can be what all I can be, as they say.
That was me going in. So I was a light wheel vehicle mechanic, knew nothing about tools. I learned quickly. And I always had help with someone dragging a heavy toolbox around because I wasn't able to pick it up. Even driving trucks. I'm short, and climbing could be an issue, or trying to change a tire, or using the tools for that. So it's a team effort always. But it worked out, and I enjoyed it. I love to drive. To this day, I love to drive.
Wow. Well, at least they respected you. You said, I want to do this thing. I'm putting my, foot first and do it, and I don't care. And they seem like they honored it. They said, okay, if you're gonna do this, let's help you out with this, and you like it a lot. So that's why I tell people out there, see, listeners, whatever you put your mind to, you can do it. You can work as hard for it and get it done. So now I want to go, Queen, with because now after, you did everything, all the brilliance in the U.S. Army, and then you became a civilian, again, a vet, and now you have you've been an author, and you have your own company. I mean, basically, you're a founder of a nonprofit organization. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes. Once I retired, I was still working for a government agency. So I do work full time. So I work for a government agency full time, and I always wanted to do something, give back to the community, because I enjoy helping individuals. That's just a passion of mine. I decided that in 2018 that I wanted to do something. It didn't hit me into a dream, and I decided on the nonprofit. Usually things come to me at night. So in the nonprofit, and I had to think about the name, is Dreams to Success. We all have dreams. We have to get to the end goal. And I always just tell individuals, write your goals down, add a date to it. Your dreams can be accomplished. It takes time. It's not going to happen overnight, but we have to work towards an effort to accomplish our goals. And during that time frame, I initiated Dreams to Success, and I've been working on my PhD right now. So I'm in the dissertation phase. So I've kind of slowed down a little bit, and I got back because that's a lot.
You know what you just said, when you're doing your dream and you're pushing the dream, it's always, you're going to keep moving. You're like the little energized bunny.
I am. I'm constantly involved. And so this is I Am an Overcomer Woman was the second project that I was blessed to be a part of. And writing is something that I enjoy doing. It's fulfilling to me to write or to become a part of a project. So transition was a challenging, and even returning to my daughter was a challenging. So it takes a support system because you have to adapt from military thinking, military life, and adapt to civilian thinking in
Yes.
life.
It was funny you mentioned that, Queen, because I was going to ask you about that, because I know some people, it depends on the person. Like you said, the individual, sometimes they can kind of a little smooth and say, okay, I'm done with this. Now I'm into this world. Some people really have a rough time. And then especially if they got hurt, while they were in. So that adjustment is different for everybody, right?
Yes, it is. It's challenging. And the support system matters, and seeking help. Don't be afraid to seek help if you need some help. A lot of times in our communities, we don't want to see a psychologist or seek the help because we feel like we're okay. Sometimes we're not okay. Sometimes you actually need to see someone and discuss what's going on. The little problems can manifest to something big. So it's definitely important to have someone that you trust, that you are able to see. And professional help can be beneficial, actually, because their family don't understand what happens over there.
And I'm so glad you said that. You mentioned that because, some people that I know, like I said, family, friends that, been, that are vets, some of them didn't go for that, extra help. And I know that they needed it. And they kept saying, I don't need no help. I don't need no counsel. I'm good. I'm good. I was in the Navy. I was in the Army, and I was like, okay, I'm glad. And we honor that. But there's a transition thing here, and maybe you need to talk it out. And he'd be like, Barbara, stop being my counselor. So I'm so glad that you said that, coming from another vet. So let people know it's okay. You might need to just talk it out. That doesn't mean you're crazy or anything. That doesn't mean you need to talk it out. Yeah.
And that's the common myth that I used to hear too. Oh, you're crazy. Something's wrong with you. No, it's not that I'm crazy. It's because I had to adjust to a war environment that you don't live an everyday life in. Then you got to readjust to civilian life in your family. So those are the things that individuals that haven't deployed don't understand. There's a lot of factors that take place that you don't come back and discuss with your family member or your spouse. So you have to kind of figure that path out and discuss that with someone. And a lot of times that professional person can help you, or discussing it with another veteran is so beneficial. I've attended groups with other veterans, and it was beneficial because I was able to hear their stories compared to my stories. Some stories was worse, but their stories helped me overcome some of those obstacles that I was facing.
Yeah, I was just about to say, because do they have, I know they probably have a lot of different groups that you can go, like, other vets come together and just talk, just say, hey, I was doing this, how you doing? I mean, not just to talk out things, but just to become, you never know, that'd be an extra group of friends, or somebody that you can even do business with, because I know a lot of vets, a lot of my friends, they started business together because they seen some things that they both were doing some things together the same. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that you can do even afterwards. And I'm so glad that you started Dreams to Success. I love that title of that nonprofit organization. And you're just helping. I can see you're just you have a heart of gold, I can tell, and you like to help others. So I appreciate you so much, Queen. And I just love that you being on the show. Now, I always ask my guests, any last words that you want to leave the listeners, just to give them something to think about?
Always stay focused on your goals. Do not let anyone hinder what your desired goals are. Sometimes we can block our own blessings by listening to the naysayers. Instead of listening to the naysayers, pray about the situation and hear what he say and follow that path. Too many times I've, asked other people opinion, and they give you bad advice sometimes. And it's important to follow your heart and what God says. Stay focused.
Well, lady, I love that. Stay focused. I was hearing. It's funny because that's confirmation to me. Because I was hearing stay focused. Because there was somebody was talking about. I was listening to another speaker last night, and they were like, "It's not so much the time is the problem. Getting time management is to stay focused on what you're trying to do, and then you'll get it done." And I was like, "Oh, that's a little different take, spin off of it." Because everybody's always talking about, "I'm so busy, I don't have enough time." But they said if you stay focused on what you're trying to do, you will make the time to do it. And I was like, "Oh."
And that's one of my goals. I always tell people that. I say keep pushing and stay focused. You usually hear me say that, or I write that all the time, because I think it's so important, because we have so many things going on in our lives. We start something, don't finish, start, or you get interrupted, family distractions or something. However, stay focused on what you intended to do. And come back and resurface what you wrote down. That's like accountability to me.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Right. I always tell people, write it down. I always have these index cards. I keep them around me, and I keep them around my computer, because I have to, certain things I have to make sure, especially when those days get kind of woohoo. You have to have something to remind you, of how awesome you are, and how awesome and what you're trying to do for others. And again, I commend you, Queen. Thank you for coming on the Diamond Fact. I know you were you're the first to lead the pack for the vets. So thank you so much being that shining star that you are. And I always say, because my brand is a diamond, just keep shining for the world, because you are one star that people need to be looking up to and listen to. So how can people contact you? Because I know, with your organization, everything, please tell them how they can contact you.
I can be contacted from Telecia.stanton@gmail.com or info@dreams2success. That's the number 2.org.
Okay, you heard it from Queen Telecia. Stanton, thank you, Telecia. And I never say goodbye, because I always feel like we can be collaborating other ways. This is not, because I always say I don't meet people just once in a blue moon. I know there's some things that we're going to be doing. So I look forward into working with you, or helping you, supporting you, whatever you need. I'm here to serve you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on your show. I greatly appreciate what you're doing also for everyone.
Thank you. So we will be back. Just our sponsor will come on, and then we will bring on another wonderful Queen Diamond. Take care.
Haiti borders with the Dominican.
Her name is Serena Buffalino. They call her Mrs. B, and her class always begins with a pledge.
Something local, something global. Haiti.
They're words that carry weight here. Helping yourself means helping others, giving back, here and a world away in Haiti.
And nobody's helping them, except for people like us.
It was through her the class learned of Haiti, of the nearly 1 million orphans, many with no school, no support, no Mrs. B in their lives.
They could not wrap their head around that.
Mrs. B's students are among Toronto's most at risk. Their challenges vary from emotional and behavioral difficulties to learning disabilities. Their trauma so severe they can't function in a regular school setting, and we aren't allowed to show most of their classmates.
For most of the kids, most of society has turned them away. And in this classroom, they're accepted. they're accepted no matter what for who they are.
Take Yolanda. She came here last year so burdened and withdrawn, she would often fall silent, sometimes for days on end. It was, she says, Mrs. B's patience, her quiet encouragement, that saved her.
She actually saves people's lives from dangers.
And perhaps that's why these marginalized kids feel such a kinship with the orphans of Haiti, and why they were moved to act.
And so when Yolanda and Jackie and Patrick said, well, Miss B, we need to build them a school.
Build a school. No easy task. They started out raising money. They sold samosas, washed cars, screened movies, you name it. And in just a few months, this little class raised $20,000. So much, it's not just a one-room schoolhouse they can build, but a full 3-story school. And so Mrs. B set off on a journey she'd dreamed of, up into the dusty mountains above Port-au-Prince to a town called Canaan. It's home to thousands of earthquake refugees who live with no running water, no electricity, and no school, until now. The first step was a temporary school. It's up and running. 53 students already in uniform. The permanent school for 250 is growing from its foundations.
It makes me want to cry because she just makes me feel so awed, and I'm very proud of her.
All of this because of a handful of students back in Canada and Mrs. B, the teacher who believed in them.
These are for you.
At another fundraiser, a special tribute to the students, accepted by someone who, without Mrs. B, might not be here.
They believe in me and I believe in them, and together we not only change our lives, but we change the world around us.
For inspiring great things and seeing the potential in everyone, Serena Buffalino is this week's Everyday Hero.
This is the reason why I do what I do, is because of Yolanda and all the...
I love when I bring in the queens, the diamond queens. Now we have another one. Oh my God. I'm just honored today. I'm just like a kid in the candy store. Well, this lady I met through another show, me and we call it the BBs, time to happiness and time to share happiness. And we had Nerina on this past Tuesday. And I'm telling you, when we were talking and having a conversation, I said, I got to have her on the Diamond Factor show. She was phenomenal. She's an amazing lady. I mean, first of all, she's just an often impactor. You know how you have some people be like, yeah, da, 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 da. But then you have others that are kind of like, real kind of like not mellow, but in that between. And then they just so powerful in that where they fit. Well, she's one of those ladies that I just knew just meeting her. I was like, I love this. I love her vibe. I love what she talks about. And as soon as we got done with the show, I pinged her on LinkedIn. I said, hey, you want to be on the show this Friday? Can you be on the show? And I was like, you don't know. I'm saying this because I'm vulnerable. I was begging. I was like, I hope she says yes. And she said, yeah. I was like, yay. She's a transitional coach. And I can tell why. I can see why. She helps so many women and beyond. I mean, this woman is incredible. And I love her quote. And we're going to talk a little bit. She's going to talk a little about herself as I do. But I love her quote where she said, you are the architecture of your own life. And I was really thinking about that last night when I seen it when she said it. And I was like, she's right. That's really true. I mean, you are, you make that during your life, you make that building whatever within you. I always tell people you're your own empire and you have to build it up for yourself so others can, first of all, you can be feeling good about what your genius and your gifts are. And then on top of that, it adds to everybody else's life around you, because then they come and they resonate and you can help others. And that's what it's all about. It's all about helping each other. So we're going to bring Nerina on, but again, I got to do it right. Just like I do the other queen. I can't leave people out. So here we go. You.
Good morning. Good morning, Barbara. Thank you so much for inviting me back. Oh my gosh. I first wanted to say, I don't know if Telecia is going to look back at this, but it's us women are just amazing. We are like diamonds, and I just so want to honor her for her service. You think about our strength as women, and you would think that it's not always physical, but you know what? We can overcome almost anything. I think sometimes that limited mindset, thinking we can do what men can do, I so resonated with a few things that she was saying about, first of all, when she was 7 years old and she decided, I wanted to go into the military. I love people like that. It is just amazing. You get people that are in their 70s and they still don't know what they want to do, but they try different things. And I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
And the fact that she pursued it. Now, I know that, I didn't serve in the military. I came to the States when I was 23, 24. But I always knew since I was 13 that this was the country I wanted to live in. And people ask me, well, why did you come to the United States? And, this is a silly reason, but my birthday is on July 4th. And I just knew that this is where I'm supposed to be. So this is where I'm supposed to be. And I think we need to write things like that down. Like, what are your dreams?
Yes.
So I so acknowledge Telecia just with what she has done and her service for this country. I love veterans. This is the most amazing country in the world. We come here because of our dreams. And I just wanted to acknowledge her again. And I love that you're doing your show on the veterans. We need to honor them because they make this country even better for us.
Yeah, Nerina, and it's just something was put in my heart to say, okay, take some of your shows, Barbara, and just honor the veterans, and because I know we all know so many of them, and I feel like sometimes after they serve, they're kind of taken for granted. It's like they kind of, okay, you served, thank you very much, and then they kind of just like slowly kind of just pushed them, and then sometimes they had to fight to get, like certain things like, their money monthly and, disability and all that kind of stuff, they have to come into play.
Right.
And I'm like, why should they even fight for that? I mean, they fought for us. Why are they fighting now, So, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I love that you're doing that. That is amazing. And what an amazing speaker.
Yes, thank you. So now we got to get to you, lady, because you're an amazing, awesome impactor, fabulous, beautiful, all any adjective that I can think of that's a positive goes to you.
Thank you. Well, I love that you brought up that quote about you are the architect of your life. I have to say that, I have an amazing dad. He's 85 years old. He's a teacher. Amazing businessman. And I actually, I think I was in my early 20s, and I walked up to him and I said to him, Dad, you did a terrible job with me. I just want to let you know you didn't do very well. And the smart man he is looked at me and go, okay, I will take responsibility for that. But just know that one day you're going to stand in front of our Father, and he's going to say to you, okay, so in spite of your terrible dad, and by the way, I had an amazing upbringing, an amazing childhood, but in spite of your terrible dad, what did you do about that? And I'm like, ooh.
Oh, he did it. He turned it.
He did. He was very smart.
Yes,
and so he's told us from when we were very little that you are the architect of your life. And you get to choose. You get to make some choices. I've made a lot of choices, good ones and not so good ones.
Yeah, good and bad,
but
ugly.
You know what? But it's made me who I am today. And, when I sit in front of a client and they tell me I've done this and I've that, and I'm like, girl, there's no judgment here. I've done the same. And people ask you a lot of times, would you change anything, from your past?
Yeah.
And of course, I want to say, yes, I wish I made better decisions and I made better choices. But in a way, I want to say no, because that made me who I am today. And if I didn't learn that lesson, then I probably wouldn't have been, in this position right now. And I can relate to other women. So in a way, I want to say I'm glad for all those experiences. I'm glad for the journey. It's not a destination. We're not going to get there till we're ready to go home. So it's a journey. It is absolutely a journey. And my attitude is, you know what? You have today, right now, just now. So enjoy right now. And all those right nows makes the journey. So make sure you show up powerfully. I have an amazing coach, and with a last name like Human, I get to use that wherever I can. I can. And my company name is called the Human Connection.
Oh, I love it.
And she's, and this coach said, how are you showing up? What kind of human are you, and how you're showing up? Be a yes human. And I thought, I love that. So now when you ask me, do I want to come, back onto the show? I'm like, yes, I want to be a yes human. I just want to say yes, because we're so good at like, I don't think so. I might not make it. Wouldn't it be amazing if we just show up every day and go, yes? There's kids in the class and they always raise their hand, and you don't like them because they're the teachers. Okay? be that.
I hate to say, I kind of was one of them when I got older. I was always like,
oh my gosh. Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to one of my amazing coaches. Her name's Yali. She's actually from an Israeli military. She served in their military.
Oh, okay.
And when
awesome.
when she came, apparently, when she served, her sister served before her, and she said to her, the one tip I can give you is when they ask for volunteers, raise your hand. Just raise your hand. Always just raise your hand. And be that one that says yes. And she said later on, the instructors would go, okay, who would do that? Everybody except Yali, because Yali's hand was up. It was just always up. So I think for us, just saying yes, raising our hands, I think it raised us. It's a different vibration, as opposed to sitting back and go, oh, somebody else can do it. No, we need you, because you're bringing something different to the party. So raise your hand, be that human. Exactly.
Well, one thing, okay, now this is from our show of Tuesday. One thing, because you're my accountability partner, I did vacuum.
I am so proud of you. Yeah, we talked about.
I said I had to tell her before we even end that I did it. I did it. I was like, yay! And I didn't do it that day, but I did the next day. And it was funny because I knew you were coming on the show. And I kept saying in the back of my mind, I said, I have to do it before Friday because Nerina's going to be my accountability partner. I know she's probably going to ask me.
You know what? And Barbara, that I think is so important. Why we need, I call it your tribe. You need people that is going to uphold you to a higher standard. Because you probably knew that I was going to ask you, and I was planning on asking you. I had a group of people, because I don't know what it is with Dawn vacuuming, but I seem to have a problem with that too. So we were talking about not wanting to vacuum, and Barbara said, well, she's going to vacuum before before we speak again. So I'm very proud of you, and that's why we need accountability partners that can lift us up to that higher standard. So find a buddy. Just always find a buddy that can make you better than who you were yesterday. That's my motto.
Oh, you're just dropping so much good wisdom nuggets. I love it. Yeah, find a buddy to make you better. Move. And like you said, well, that's another thing. Just to add to that, I always tell people, find the one, the right one, because sometimes you can get a buddy and it might be a negative buddy, and all of a sudden they're bringing you into their world. You're like, I don't want to go there, and they'd be like, it's like, no.
and that's a tough one, because I believe that we are on this planet to help others. So you want to give back, and you want to be there for people, needing, because sometimes we need just a good friend.
Yeah.
But one of my, it's not my philosophy, but I feel like this is, how I think, I don't know if it was Telecia that said it or you said it, that she gets her wisdom at night. I get mine in the morning. And the one thing that I feel like that's being, just impressed on my heart lately is, be brave. I like this saying, be brave enough to make things awkward, so that we can wake up those around us. Now, most people don't want to be awkward. They just want to fit in, and they want to look good. No, I really don't have a problem with being awkward. I'm okay. Egg on my face, fine. If I can help one person, I'm good with that. So asking the difficult questions, things like, and even with friendships in helping people, after the third time, the fourth time, the fifth time, you help somebody and there's nothing's changing. Nothing changes when nothing changes. You have to be that accountability partner and friend that says, do you really want this? Because, like we said, we're going to have this conversation in a year. And if nothing changes, nothing changes. So I think by asking the tough questions, we can help each other. That dialogue, we don't have debate anymore. I don't know why. We're so scared of offending a person by asking the wrong question or saying the wrong thing. So I don't know if we can ask good questions. I'm always surprised at, and if you can, a really good question can do wonders. And it's not a yes/no question. You give somebody the permission to say what they feel, and I don't want to get political at all, but for instance, the vaccination thing, we can talk about that. It's okay. I'm a human being. I want to do what's good for me, for my family, for everybody around me. But it's almost like we're too scared to even have the conversation. And us as humans, we need to talk. We just need to talk, ask those tough questions.
I'm clapping. You're saying, I'm not ready to cut you off. I'm just like your cheerleader right now, because you're so right, Nerina, because we need to communication is so important. And it seemed like we, in a lot of scenarios, we lack it. I tell people, I know people that are speakers, but when it comes to communicating, it's like you're a speaker, but you're not communicating on a day-to-day level on certain things. We shouldn't be scared to talk about I know you said the vaccine, because I know people that, like myself, I got it done. And I know other friends, close friends and family that said they're not going to do it. They don't want to do it. They're nervous about it, whatever, and I think sometimes people don't want to say the ones that's not doing it, they're scared, or they're like, okay, somebody's going to talk to me or yell at me or whatever, because I didn't make the decision to do it. And I tell everybody, I said, you know what? That's your choice. Exactly. Who am I to sit there, and say, you shouldn't do it? You didn't. Who? No, because believe me, I'm not going to do some things in life that people are going to be like, I don't agree with that. And I wouldn't want them coming to me, yelling at me about it. So yes.
And informed humans, go out there and do the research and talk to people and then make your decision. Either way, there's no judgment. Be the architect of your own life. Make the that's good too. I would love for us to have more debates. I debated in school and I loved it. And I feel like that's a way for us to not attack the opinion or attack the person. I don't know if they still do that in school. That would be really interesting to find out.
They do. I hear it in some schools. Yeah. But you know what? You just gave me an idea, Nerina. And if you're okay, I'm saying this right live now. If you're interested, because that's one thing about this show, I like to mix it up and bring people that's, different everywhere so we can talk, because I love the communication. And I love us as minorities coming together, always talking, because I believe in that we should be together. So maybe we can maybe we can co-host my show together and bring in some other people and have those debates, like pick a subject and let's talk.
Yes.
What do you think?
I'm raising my hand.
I'm raising my hand.
Yes. I'm a yes human. A yes human. I raise my hand. And I think it's a good thing to get controversial sides to come and talk about a thing, because most of the time they have a reason. I want to understand that reason. So I think that's a good idea. I would totally be up for that.
Okay, that's a project for us. I'm loving it. You're the one.
I like it. I love it. I love it.
And it's nice because on this platform, we can do an hour of it, and we can bring in, because I think this whole 10 people on this platform. Can you see all of us? Like,
oh, wow.
I can just see it.
We might have to very lively.
It would be very lively. I was just thinking we might have to do like a half, like 30 minutes 5, and the other 5, 30. I don't know, or just bring them all together and say, let's just talk. But that's I'm getting excited talking about it. See you. You're awesome.
I'm up for that, absolutely. And I think it's I I just want to say, most of the time when we argue something, we argue from where I'm sitting. Like if I say to you, this is how I think about it. You know, I was born in Namibia, I was raised here, I traveled here. This is my perspective. That's not yours. But if I sit and I listen to Barbara's perspective on a specific topic, I can go, oh, I never thought about it like that, huh? So I get to learn something from you.
Yeah.
But we don't put ourselves in the other person's shoes to see why they're coming from that angle. And I think if we sometimes just stop, I always say stop, look, correct, and then take action. But we're so fast to go, this is why I'm doing it like this. Okay, that's nice. But are you open? Are you willing to listen to a different perspective? Because it's available if you listen. Yeah, I don't know. You know what? We have one mouth, 2 ears. But we don't always do it like that, right?
Nope. It's more like this takes over. And you're not even listening. It's like, okay, I have no ears no more. Yeah. I mean, it's almost to that point sometimes. I feel some people like, do you have ears? Are you really listening to what's going on here? But yeah, I mean, I'm excited already for us to get together. This is going to be a co-project because I feel like you said, Nerina, we do need to listen more because we learn, I learned so much from you. Like just even on Tuesday, I learned. So I was just like, oh my God, I can just listen to her for 2 or 3 hours. She's just teaching me so much. And if you open yourself to that, so much knowledge, because I said, there's so much you can go on Google University. I know you can go on YouTube University, I call them. And it's wonderful. I'm glad we have those options because before it was, well, I'm telling my age now, it was the encyclopedia, but it was like in the book, it wasn't online.
I remember.
My mother ordered them, and I was like, all these books were coming. I'm like, oh no, they're for me because I'm the only child. So, I had that. There was no cell phones. It's like, okay, you call on the phone, you dial the digits, stuff like that. But then now we have so much that now, I mean, all that informational stuff that we have around us. Now we have so much that we can reach so quickly. I think the communication died down a little bit because you can just run and get everything. And people are not talking anymore like they used to,
No, I don't think that they do. Because first of all, if you want to have a conversation, you almost need to be really peaceful. But, time is such a thing. Like, no, I have 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Nobody's going to show up in that state and have a good conversation because, the next thing is just around the corner. So, yeah, and that's why I love to drink tea. I'm like, come over. Let's drink tea. Let's have a conversation. I think the art of tea needs to come back. Coffee is like, drink your coffee, get up and then go. No, I want to drink some tea.
I like that. Tea time. Tea time with
tea time. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? And I think you just gave me a really good idea. Tea time, asking the hard questions. Because I feel like that's, how sometimes you just know that's what I'm supposed to do for this journey right now, for this season. And I want to ask people hard questions. I want to understand why they're thinking the way they're thinking. What made them get to that conclusion or that decision? Because there's definitely there's always a backstory to why we got to where we are. So I think humans are fascinating. My passion is for humans and systems, and I think systems are there to serve us. Humans are just, I don't know. I'm in love with humans. We're so fascinated. Don't you think?
Yes, we are. And that's why, and then some people look at me and say, Barbara, you're always asking questions. Because this is another thing, and I know you probably the same, Nerina, that when a person has a problem, like if they come to you with something, any kind of problem it might be, and they're like, I'm just so tired. I'm just using an example. I'm just so tired, Barbara. And I'm like, so why are you so tired? I'm just tired. I said, there has to be a reason. Well, I've been working 70 hours a week. I said, wow, I know you probably are really tired. I said, well, you somewhere down, you got to do some me time. And they said, well, I just can't do me time because I'm just tired all the time working hard. And then even if I keep pushing it, because they said, you're pushing this, I get to the meat of the whole thing. And I find out it's not really just the job making them tired. There's other things happening in their life that's making them mentally tired. It might be because of finances, because of a relationship or whatever. And people be like, there she go. They always tell me, they said, there she go, trying to, because I know it's deeper than just that, that top part. Yeah.
You have to rip off that Band-Aid. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I think you're such a gift being able to not let go, because I think we need to be able to honor their stand, even if you can see that it's an excuse. Honor that, but then keep on asking those probing questions, like what's behind it? Because many times it is things like you said, I don't feel like I could take 30 minutes a day to just take a deep breath and do some breathing exercises or go for a walk. And it might be, I don't think I'm worth it. I don't think I deserve it. Things like that. But it's only when you start, you keep on digging till you get to that. And it's a limiting belief underneath all of those things. And if we can identify that limiting belief, there's so many ways, one of the ones that I really like is for a woman, especially for us as a woman, because women are just incredible. I was listening to her story about us, in a man's world. One of my early, and I'm going to date myself too now. So I've been in IT for a long, long time. And I used to install Novell networks, the cables underneath. So I had to get into like my little corporate dress and I was under the table. But you know what? And I was the only woman. I was always the only woman in a team of men. But so what? You know what? I learned. I didn't know everything. We learn and we become stronger. And at the end of the day, they respect you for not giving up and learning. And we're the same, so we're a woman. So what? But I talked myself totally into a different line of thought there. So if I didn't answer the question, it's probably because I thought about how amazing us as women. We just get to do so many things.
And like you said, in a man's world, because we all know as women, I mean, this is just us as women, we have to always do better, than the next, because we have to show, we always in our mind, we have to say, okay, we got to prove the point here now. Okay, I know I'm a woman, but I can do it. I know a woman, but I can do it,
Right.
And I think that gives our motivation, it gives our drive, it shows us, that, we're in it, to in that race to push forward. And I used to beat myself up when I was younger. I used to really beat myself up because I was a competitor. I was always competent. Anybody, I mean, how much water can you drink first? I mean, it was okay, here Barbara go again. She wants to compete, and I would do men and women. I'd be like, come on. And then people be like, okay, well, it's okay. You don't have to always compete. Can we just all come together? But I'm kind of glad in a positive way that I still keep that in my mind, because now I use it for the good. I use it for the good, because now I fight for people. That's what I compete now, just fighting for women and all minorities, fighting for, men and all minorities, because it's needed right now. Everything going on around the world that we've been dealing with.
Absolutely. So Barbara, let me turn. No, it is. And we're sisters and we need to help other sisters who doesn't have what we have, and come alongside them, have empathy, have love for them. That is so true. So let me turn the table on you for a quick second. Both women, both professional. We've done a lot of things. What do you like the most about being a woman?
I think I like the most being about women because we're unique. We're the uniqueness, because I know us as women, I think we have an extra drive because, we can give life. Now I know some women can't give, because myself, I found I couldn't have children, but I still have that, that woman's instinct of, nurturing and being there. So I think that's what I really love, because after the toughness we have, the motivation we have, the push we have, the drive we have as women, we still have that nurturing, that we care about people, about children. And I think that's what I like about being a woman, is we can be the strong, and then we can also be that loving person, So I think that, I never thought of that. Thank you for asking that question. I like that.
You're welcome. I do like that polarity of us being strong. And I always say that when there's a crisis, I want a friend like me, Because in that crisis, I can focus. I might not always be able to focus like that. I wish I could. But when there's a child, that got hurt or some situation in that moment, I know that I can step up. But then I can also be, I can allow myself to stand back and let a man open the door for me.
Yes.
Or help me with something that, take out the trash. I don't particularly like that.
Don't either. I don't either. But I love. Oh, can you hear me? I think we got cut off. I hope I didn't lose her. Can you hear me? I know sometimes the internet does things to us. She froze on me. Now she's gone. Oh no. Well, she's back. I think she's back. You back?
I am
Yay.
back. You were talking about technology the other day, and I was thinking, so this used to be my office down here. I have never, ever had issues, ever. Not in this spot, because the router is right there.
Okay. You're like
sometimes it happens, and it's almost like you have an opportunity to say, so what are you going to do about that? Well, you come back on and you keep on going. That's it.
Yeah, I've learned the hard way. Just keep it moving.
Exactly.
But no, I wanted to say this. What you said before we close is that as a woman, be that strong motivator, like you said, that we fight for people, but then also be that lady that we can take from the man and they can open the door. They could pull a chair, so we could sit. Those things come back too, because I think sometimes some women I see, they're so like, they don't even want a man open the door. They be like, I can do everything, leave me alone, don't even talk to me. I mean, it's like everything they feel like they can do on their own. And then the man is like, well, I'm just trying to be a man to you. I'm just trying to honor and respect you. And now you fight me because of opening the door. Because I have to say, when I got in my 20s and 30s, I was that person where, I feel sorry. Now I feel sorry for the boyfriends I had. They would be like, bro, I'm just trying to open your door. I said, you don't have to open the door. I can open my own door. I mean, and I really had to get into myself, said, Barbara, you need counseling. Stop that. Give them they're trying to respect you as a woman. Just do it. Just let them do it.
Absolutely. Luckily we learned, right?
Yeah, I'm glad I did, because I would have been a loner for a little bit longer. But now, before we close, please tell people how they can contact you, lady. And like I said, we're going to be working with this project because I really love it. My wheels are turning already. So tell them how they can contact you.
Sure. So Nerina at the Human Connection 2. Nerina at thehumanconnection2.com is my email address. And thehumanconnection2.com is my my website. If you want to talk, just book a session and we'll talk about anything you need to talk about. I'm always open, learning and listening to other people. So just book some time and we'll talk.
Awesome. And just meeting her, you see how the talk's going to go. It's going to go amazing either way. She is going to help you so much. I mean, like I said, I fell in love with her on Tuesday, and I still want to work with her. I don't want to let her go.
So that's very sweet.
Ms. Queen, thank you for coming on the Diamond Factor Experience Show. Like I said, we're going to be doing some things and looking forward to doing the project and bringing people on so we can have that talk, that debates. And it don't have to be a bad debate. We let's listen to each other. Listen to who, why they feel the way they do. Let's respect that. So I'm glad that we're going to be doing that. So any last words before we sign off?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. We all want to grow. I think innate in our hearts, we do. We're scared, but we have to understand that our growth scares other people who don't want to change. And we have to understand that it comes from us shining our light. And we talk about this a lot, about being this diamond. But just know that the moment that you allow yourself to shine like a diamond, you give that other person permission to do the same. So don't let that ever stop you. you be the best you can be so that they can be the best who they are.
Wow. Oh, is that okay if I take that? I love that.
Of course. I'm sure I got it from somebody else. This is how the great thing is. We all share.
That's what I'm saying, lady. Oh my God. That's why you're queen. That's your royalty. Wow.
Absolutely.
Okay, lady. So like I said, I'm not going to say goodbye. I'm just going to say see you soon because we will. And you have a wonderful and blessed weekend, and we will talk.
Absolutely. Thank you much, Barbara. Take care.
You too.
I'm hanging on your every word, the love inside, I feel it burn. I've never felt this way before. I've had a taste, now I want more. So here we are, just you and me. I'm overwhelmed when you touch me. You talk so sweet, I hear the sound, 'cause when you do, my feet won't touch the ground. My feet won't touch the ground.
Every time I see that video, it just kind of takes a tear to my eye because it just reminds me how, in this world, in the United States, that we can make choices, that we are able to make choices. We're able to start a business. We're able to be that speaker. We're able to talk when we want to talk. We're able to, protect ourselves. We're able to buy a home. We're able to talk to each other, in this informational world. And it's because of the veterans, it's because of the people that fight for us, so we can stay doing the freedom that we have. So veterans, again, I honor you, I applaud you, and I'm so glad that some of these Diamond Factor experience shows will be honoring who you are. And today started it. I brought another Nerina. I brought her on because she's a transformational coach, and I just love her vibe. And I'm loving what she said about, once you are shining, once your life is shining, when you make that determination that you want to shine, that people look at that and it makes them want to shine too. So be a light, shine for not just yourself, but for others, because they need to see that so they can be motivated, or be a reminder for them to do what they need to do in life. It's not easy sometimes. A lot of times, we go through the good and bad and ugly in life. But overall, we need to make sure that we always see that light so we can work towards something and make sure that, we show them the love for each other when one person needs love and the other person's down in either way. So let's be there for each other. Let's do the 3 L's that I always say. Let's live every moment, laugh every day, and love beyond words. I will see you next Monday, and you have a wonderful weekend. And remember, as I always say with your PPD, your purpose, passion, and drive, just make sure I put it all in a bow and I say that is your diamond factor. That is your foundation to make sure that you're not only doing what you should be doing in your life, but people are looking at your gifts and your genius to help them through their lives. Talk to y'all Monday.